scorched earth at least 50 feet wide and 10 to 15 feet deep. This is the divot in the trench that was created when this 757 exploded as it hit the ground. What happened here is police say that the airplane hit right there, crashed into a fireball, burning the whole edge of that tree line there before most of the debris went off onto the other side of that tree line. A police captain who has been down there said there is hardly anything recognizable on the ground there except for very small bits of aluminum and fabric. Most of the wreckage is behind that tree line, and only people, federal agents in full hazmat suits, are allowed in there. This whole area is sealed off while the investigation continues. Reporting from the crash scene of the 757 in southwest Pennsylvania, Mike Hsu, WJZ Eyewitness News. Now back to you on TV Hill.
While the World Trade Center burns and crumbles, hundreds swarm onto the Brooklyn Bridge trying to get out of the area. New York Mayor Rudolph Giuliani orders all lower Manhattan evacuated so that emergency crews and vehicles could get through. As you can see, there was no getting through the foot traffic on the bridge as people left their jobs. A mass exodus of Manhattan. And while people still clamor to leave New York, the streets of Washington, D.C. are deserted, except for some emergency vehicles. Eyewitness News has been in D.C. all day long. Kai Jackson joins us now with the latest on security there. Kai?
Vic, we are live in Northwest at the corner of K and 11th Streets. We're just north of the White House. We're just a short distance from that position. The Pentagon was exploded after a plane crashed into it. That then placed the city of Washington in a state of emergency. Secret Service agents and the National Guard and Washington, D.C. police have set up a perimeter, if you will, a blanket of security around Washington. Meantime, it's left people in this city feeling a sense of loss. Fire engines race to the White House for a call. It turns out to be a false alarm. But the White House is just a short distance from the Pentagon where the plane crashed. And late in the day, the nation's capital is in just as high a state of alert as it was this morning.
It was too much of a coincidence to be an accident. Two aircraft, 18 minutes apart, flying directly into the Twin Towers just as some 50,000 workers are starting their day around 9 a.m.
My heart's in my mouth. I mean, I pray for these people. There's no words to describe what's going on out there. I mean, you see bodies just coming a half hour later, still coming out of the goddamn sky.
As the nation is absorbing the chaos in New York City, the unbelievable happens just outside Washington, D.C. 40 minutes after the attacks in New York, another hijacked plane crashes into the Pentagon. The nerve center of the nation's military bursts into flames, and one side of the building collapses. Plumes of smoke.
At that point, bellied out in flames, and everybody ran. I mean, those who could. There's an awful lot of places that you couldn't hide down there.
Down here in what truly did look like a war zone in New York City, and at what once was called the Department of War in Washington, D.C.
Like I said, sometimes the cliche says it all, and in a way we can all comprehend and never forget. Back to you.
Thank you, Don. Now, all of downtown New York has been cleared for rescue efforts. Emergency crews are being warned once the smoke clears, they are going to face a massive number of dead bodies.